Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here at Ciocca Chevrolet of Princeton to check out a brand new 2023 Chevrolet Trailblazer LT. So let's dig in. All right, the front end of this Trailblazer in sterling gray. That's the color on this vehicle. We have flat black on the grille all the way around, which I think is a good idea. The Chevy bow tie in the middle. We have LED daytime running lights and LED fog lamps, but we have standard lighting for the headlights and the turn signals. So kind of a mixed bag up front. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. All right, wheel and tire setup on this Trailblazer. We have a 17-inch wheel, a gloss black with silver accents, which I think is an attractive looking design. Chevy bow tie in the middle, standard brake and rotor package. Tires, we have Continental all-season tires, 225 on the width, 60 series sidewall, 17s, all four corners, front wheel drive. All right, full side profile on this Trailblazer LT, and I like the shape. I like what they've done with this redesign, which is a couple of years old now. The way they have sharpened up the lines on it, made it give it its own distinct look compared to what it looked like before in my view. Let me know what you think in the comments about this design. It does have a lot of flat black plastic around the wheel wells and down below, so you're not going to get all nicked up if you take this off on the trails. I like the sterling gray. I think that's a good color against that black. Let me know what you think in the comments, but overall it's a pretty cool looking SUV. As we move in closer, we are color matched on the top of the side view mirror, color matched on the front and rear door handle. We have a left side fuel filler cap. Up top we have the old style antenna. Got to give me a shark fin up here. This thing is way too old. And then we have our roof rails, but we don't have a sunroof in this particular Trailblazer. All right, the rear end of this Trailblazer is it's okay. I think it could be a little bit better. A really stubby roof spoiler coming off the back. You have your rear wiper down below on the glass. You have standard lighting in the back with standard turn signals. The Trailblazer script on the left of the tailgate, the LT on the right. Flat black with silver trim around the bumper, which I think works well. It's plain, but at least there's no fake venting, which I appreciate. And then the exhaust is tucked up underneath the right side of the vehicle. All right, we are under the hood of this Trailblazer for 2023. And what do we got for a power plant in here? Well, we have a 1.2 liter turbocharged inline 3-cylinder engine mated to a CVT transmission. 137 horsepower, 162 pound-feet of torque, MPGs 29 in the city, 31 on the highway, 30 combined. The engine's minimum octane rating is 87, so you can run this on regular unleaded gas. All right, so before we get into the interior of this Trailblazer, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much does this cost? Well, the way this one is optioned, Trailblazer LT with the 1.2 liter turbo, you're looking at an MSRP of $26,110. So let's check out the interior. Moving closer in, we have a carpeted dead pedal, brake and accelerator, all rubber finish. The floor mats are in the tailgate area. We have power seats for the driver, but manual seat adjustment for the front passenger. And then we have this black and light gray cloth type material in here, which is to be expected at this price point. And it doesn't look half bad on the inside of this Trailblazer. Okay, door panel time. We do have some soft touch up top, even though it feels pretty hard. And then we have some gloss black around the flat black around the chrome door handle. So it's a nice bit of a design in there. Give it a little bit of a change. Some of that light gray on the door insert. And then we have a fairly hard armrest. As we move over to the dash, we have soft touch up top. Some more of this light dark gray type material. A nice storage area in here, believe it or not. And then underneath here, we do have a nice large glove box. Moving over here to the center console area, 2 heat and air vents up top. We have the GM 7-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Wi-Fi hotspot. The nav, though, is through your phone. There's no built-in nav here. And that's, at this price point, I don't have a problem with that because I have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, so I can bring up my maps on my phone, show them right here on the screen. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. Four-way hazards are over here. Here's your home button and then your volume control. All right, backup camera time. Put the car in reverse and you have a nice large backup camera with trajectory, nice clarity, maybe could be a little bit better, but nice. There may be some actually packing plastic over that camera because GM's cameras are normally really good. But overall, it takes up the whole screen and no issues, so good job on the backup camera. Down below, we do have climate control, but only one zone rather than dual zone. And then down here, you have your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and front passenger, which is a nice touch. Down even further, you have a 12-volt, a USB-C, a USB-A, and an aux jack. There is no wireless charging pad in here. If there was, it would be down in here. And then, as we come through, here is the gear shift to go through the simulated gears of the CVT, and 2 cup holders. The Chevy key fob in this case is fairly simple: unlock, lock, remote start, panic button, Chevy bow tie on the back, not too bad. Around the other side of the gear shift lever is your engine stop start off, traction control off, and lane keep assist off. Then we have another storage area down here. And then we have a fairly hard center armrest. And then as we lift this up, man, these things are tight when they're new. We have a removable tray for storage and then more storage underneath that. All right, Chevy steering wheel. It seems like we see the steering wheel in every Chevy product we review here. We have soft touch on the steering wheel, nice 10 and 2 notches though, very plain looking steering wheel with the Chevy bow tie in the middle, flat black on the switch gear. On the left we have our cruise control, on the right you have your telephone and voice commands. But it's very, very plain looking. It would have been nice to jazz it up somehow, maybe a little silver trim down here, or maybe a ring around the bow tie, something to dress it up a little bit because it looks pretty plain. On the stalks you have your directionals and bright lights. Over on the right stalk you have your front and rear wiper. Down on the left here you can brighten and dim the dash. You can adjust your headlights and your fog lamps. And this is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. We move into the dash and we have that standard analog digital combo where we have an analog gauges for your speedometer, tachometer, fuel level, and coolant temperature, and a small display in the center that's going to give you other information such as average miles per gallon, range to tank, tire pressures, those sorts of things that you would normally see in one of these type systems. But overall, at this price point, this type of dash is simple, it is easy to figure out, and I really can't fault it. All right, your overhead console in the Trailblazer, non-LED lighting on the interior, which is to be expected. If you want the lights to come on and off when you close and open and close the door, you need to leave this switch in the center. And then when it's left in the center, open the door, the lighting will come on, close the door, it will slowly go off. Again, there is no sunroof in this Trailblazer, so we'll move on to the sun visor with vanity. And the question is, does it slide back? No. So it's not going to cover the whole side. Or excuse me, yes it does. I take that back. It was already out. So there you go. So it does. Nice job. All right, backseat time in this Trailblazer. We'll climb on in. Some nice room. The seat is set for my driving position. Plenty of room for my knees. Plenty of headroom, plenty of shoulder width room, so plenty of room back here. And then of course we have this design, but it is different in the back of this Trailblazer, where the front you had this portion of the door panel in that gloss black. This is now all flat black with hard plastic everywhere. So they did cost cut in the back of this Trailblazer, which is a bit disappointing to see. coming to the rear of the center console, we have an area for storage, a USB-C, a USB-A, and a home power source. We have seat pockets behind each front passenger. And then as we come around, do we have a center armrest? No center armrest, even though the cloth seating is about the same here in the back. With the design, the door panel certainly has suffered the GM cost cut. So overall, not a bad place to be in here, but again, at this price point, you're going to see a lot of cheaper materials used on the interior of the Trailblazer. All right, tailgate time in the Trailblazer. You come up, and just above the license plate is the button, and you have to lift up since this is manual on the way up and manual on the way down. And here you got a good amount of space with the back seats up. Here's our carpeted floor mats that I mentioned earlier. Underneath the, this thing is in tight. Underneath here, you do have a spare, so thank you Chevrolet for including the spare. And then you have nice carpet on here, and then you have some lighting in the back and a couple of tie downs, so they got you covered there. And then to get the rear seats down, piece of cake. You have this button, you just push it, and you can push these seats all the way down. And now you have a lot more space for those larger items. So this is a small SUV, but they have a lot of good cargo space use and good back seat room in this Trailblazer. So nice job on the usage of space in this vehicle by Chevrolet. All right, here is the window sticker for this 2023 Trailblazer front-wheel drive LT trim. Feel free to pause the video, zoom in, see everything that's optioned into this Trailblazer. And now, let's take her out for a spin. All right, we are in this 2023 Chevy Trailblazer LT with the 3-cylinder engine and the CVT transmission. So here we go on our little drive in the Trailblazer, and right off the bat, I'll comment on the visibility. Visibility in here is very good. You have plenty of visibility out of the windshield and side glass and the rear window. No issues at all. Nice large side view mirrors, so you get a good view of the road on either side of you. So that is desirable. I like how everything is easy to get to inside the vehicle. Adjusting any settings I may have on my infotainment system, or getting to the plugins if I desire for my smartphone, all within easy reach of me. Now the LT trim in the Trailblazers, I believe, is one up from the base. So you're not going to see a lot more features in here. This is at a very competitive price point for folks that need the extra room of a subcompact SUV, but also need to be price conscious. Either they don't want to spend a lot of money on a vehicle, or they can't afford to spend more than what this vehicle costs on one. So that's where we're looking. People that are going to use this to get from point A to point B, haul goods, point A to point B, kids, school, maybe to and from the train station if they commute into the city, since we're here in Jersey for this review. So I think that's where we're looking as far as the customer for this particular car. The ride is smooth. These big sidewall tires are soaking up the bumps no problem. It is well damped with the suspension, so it is a very, very easy car to drive. It's not a very exciting car to drive, but it's a very easy car to drive. And I think that's important for folks that are just using this for general transportation. The steering is light, but it is direct, so there really is no issue with the steering. In this car, you turn the steering wheel and it goes where you want it to go, so no issues there. Now we are going to get down here a little ways to a straightaway, and then we're going to do an emergency stop to see how this thing behaves when you jam on the brakes. The roads are a little greasy, so let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Immediate stop. Steering wheel did not pull in either direction on this front wheel drive car, so that's important. And now we'll step on the gas and get back up to speed. The engine, for a 3-cylinder engine, since you got the turbocharger in there, has enough low-end torque to get this vehicle up and moving, even if it doesn't have a lot of horsepower. So it does get this vehicle up and moving up to speed fairly easily. The CVT obviously designed to deliver better gas mileage than a standard torque converted automatic, and considering the price point of this Trailblazer, I really can't fault the presence of the CVT in here. So that's kind of where we are on that right now. On this road, immediately we're averaging about 35 miles to the gallon going down this road. So it's delivering really good gas mileage. So another plus for this vehicle is it's going to stretch that gas dollar much further than obviously a car with a larger engine that doesn't get a good gas mileage. Plus you can use regular in this, where some other cars you need to use premium. So that's going to save you some gas mileage money there as well. So overall, I think the Trailblazer is a good offering in this subcompact entry-level trim, or close to entry-level trim vehicle that you're gonna find on the market. And I think if you're looking for a subcompact SUV in this mid-20s price range, then I think you need to put the Trailblazer on your list to at least test drive, give it a look, and decide for yourself whether this is something that you would want to buy over the competition. If you own a Trailblazer, I'd love to hear from you to let me know how it's going and how you like it. If you're looking at one, let me know if you're cross-shopping it against anything else, and what you're cross-shopping it against, or if you looked at one and decided to go elsewhere, what did you go with? Let me know in the comments about that. But I do want to thank Ciocca Chevrolet of Princeton for allowing the channel access to this brand new 2023 Trailblazer LT for review this morning. I would like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you'll never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.